I wonder where John and Sean went. I guess they're back out on the road. We'll find out on this edition of the State Champs High School Hockey Report.
And welcome back to the State Champs High School Hockey Report. I'm Jonathan Kidd along with Sean Belizean. Sean, where are we at today?
Oh, this is outstanding. We're at the Showcase in Trenton, and it's been such a treat so far. John, one of the things that jump out to me, not only do you get the action on the ice and you get to see a guy like Cooper Black, for example, but talking to some of the other coaches, and they're kind of wide-eyed like we are too. Hey, how about this kid from so-and-so? How about this kid? Because, we hear about guys, but a lot of times we don't get a chance to see guys. And so the coaches and a lot of the players are the exact same way. So that's what makes this tournament so much fun.
The State Champs High School Hockey Report is presented by the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association, and it's also brought to you by the MHSAA, National Coney Island. This has been an interesting week. The weather has just been chaotic with the snow and the cold and the ice. Some of these players didn't get a chance to practice or even had a game this week.
I know that's the crazy thing about it, but being hockey players, you're not hearing them complain. They're going out there. Already some fantastic action, John, and certainly more to come. No doubt about that. I know by the time people see this, the whole scene will be over. Let me pose for that picture right there. But, all jokes aside, this is a situation where the guys are coming out and just doing their work.
What intrigues me about this showcase, you get matchups that you could see, like you got Woodhaven and Saline, Trent and Heartland, teams that you could possibly see in the playoffs down the road.
Well, that's outstanding too. When you're talking about John, Division III, pretty much everybody's here that we're talking about. And I'm going to say it again, John, I think there are 6 or 7 teams in the mix in Division III that at the end of the year could earn the right to be called state champions. 6 or 7 teams. Right now, I kind of got De La Salle on the perch a little bit, but that certainly can change. Same thing with Division II. They're all going to be here. Stevenson and Heartland and Plymouth and, Trenton, of course. They're all going to be here, an opportunity to make a statement, lest I forget Brother Rice. So that's the beauty of what is transpiring this weekend.
And also you got Detroit Catholic Central playing Cleveland St. Ignatius and the Notre Dame Academy out in Wisconsin.
I love that. Cal is in a unique position right now at Catholic Central where, make no mistake about it, they want to get back on top. But I like that they're challenging and testing some of the big boys out there. I would love nothing more if we had a few teams get that rep around the region and around the entire nation in regards to hockey. I jokingly say it would be great if CC became the Culver of Michigan, so to speak. There's something for everybody out here. Look, if you're a hockey fan, there's really good hockey out here.
We're going to have a few coaches interviews throughout the podcast, and also we're going to sprinkle in some highlights. So we're going to start with the first game on Friday afternoon as Flint Powers took on Alpena.
We go a couple minutes into the contest. Flint Powers in white would get on the board first as they would crash the net, and it would be Tyler Lawrence who bangs home the rebound for his 12th goal on the season. Chargers up 1-0. Alpena coming in at 13-4-1 would respond just 4 minutes later, keeping the puck in the Chargers' end, and it would be the senior Kyle Van Duzen to put it in the back of the net, and we were tied at 1 after the opening period of play. Midway through the second, the Wildcats would take the lead. Van Duzen wins the faceoff and then backhands it in for his second goal on the game. Alpena now up 2-1. More from the Wildcats 5 minutes later. It's that man Van Duzen once again here snapping it in to give him that natural hat trick. Heading into the third, Alpena was up by a pair. Wildcat netminder Cooper Black just recently broke the school record for shutouts in a season and was huge in this one. Here, stopping Carson Snyder's rebound attempt in front, the senior had 31 saves on the afternoon. As Alpena would go on to beat Flint Powers at the Prep Hockey Showcase, 3-1 the final score.
So Alpena with a 3-1 win over Flint Powers Catholic. I am joined by Chris Lindback, the head coach at Alpena. Chris, welcome to the High School Hockey Report.
Thank you.
3-1 victory today over Flint Powers. What was the factors in your guys' win today?
I thought as the game went on, we got better. I thought Flint Powers took it to us early on in the first period. I thought we were fortunate to come out and get to tie after one. And I thought from there on, I thought we really started to play the hockey that I think we're capable of.
Van Dusen with the natural hat trick. Just talk about his play throughout the season.
He's such a gifted player. He's just got amazing hands. He's always creative. He's one of the few guys that's always dangerous every time he steps on the ice. It was great to see him play like he can in a showcase event, because a lot of people will leave here going, wow, he didn't look like he was going to be that great of a player, but when I watched him, he's really a multi-talented player.
And Cooper Black, just talk about his play when you see him on the ice, 6'6" with skates.
Well, just as a guy that likes to shoot, when you go down to shoot on him, there's not a lot of net there to shoot for. So he's just coming into his own. He's starting to get confidence. He's playing strong like he can, and it's great to see him really reaching his potential.
And just lastly, just how special is it for you guys to play here at the MIHL Showcase?
Well, you just realize it's a different vibe in the arena, and so I was so excited that we got into it. To be honest, I didn't think we were going to get in this, so I was almost going to change and book 2 other games. So I was so glad when Scott Locke sent me a message and said, "You guys are in," because it's so great for our community and our kids to be a part of such a great event.
All right, so Alpena with the 3-1 victory over Flint Powers Catholic, and I was joined by the head coach, Chris Lamback, here on the High School Hockey Report. Chris, thank you for joining us.
Thanks again.
I'm joined by Dan Giacchino, the head coach at Calumet. Dan, welcome to the High School Hockey Report.
Oh, thank you. It's great that you guys are doing this, and as a coach and for high school hockey, and this is great that you guys have been doing all this. So very appreciative of it.
And also, we're appreciative of the jersey too.
Yeah. We wanted to get in on the fun, so to speak. A lot of teams have been bringing jerseys down and bringing them to you guys, so we figured we might as well get in on it too.
So 3-0 over Livonia Stevenson. Just how proud of your boys of their effort tonight?
Great hockey game. Very, very proud of them. I thought we played a great team effort today. We got good goaltending. We got good, strong defense, and our offense did a nice job in the offensive zone. Created some room for ourselves, and just a good, solid team win.
We have Brent Locust in our National Coney Island High School Hockey Player of the Year race, and just talk about how special a player he is.
We've had Brent in the program now. This is his 4th year. He started as a freshman, and he's a complete hockey player. He does a lot offensively. He passes well. He can finish, and probably the most impressive part of it, he's our best forward in the defensive zone. He's a 3-zone player, and he does a lot, and he's been leading us now as a captain for 2 years, and we're very thankful we have him and have had him for the last couple of years.
And how special is it for you guys? I've noticed over the years, you guys will come down here during the regular season, obviously play here, but you'll play Cranbrook, and then teams will come and play to play you guys.
Yeah.
So how special is that?
That is that. We're very fortunate, very happy. The teams that come up: Brother Rice, Jesuit, Brighton, Novi, Utica, Heartland comes up. Just so many teams from the downstate area come up, and we hope as hosts between ourselves and Houghton and Hancock that we provide them with a great experience, and we give them 2 good hockey games at every time they come. So as long as they want to keep coming, we'll keep hosting them.
And lastly, just how special is it to play here at the MIHL Showcase?
Oh, this is great. I think every year we've been here, with the exception of one, we've split games. We've gone to overtime every year that we've been here. I mean, they do a fantastic job with matching up teams. We can't ask for more. The games are well officiated. Everything just flows well here, and like I said, very, very happy with how this goes.
All right, so Calumet with a 3-0 win over Livonia Stevenson. I was joined by Dan Giacchino, the head coach at Calumet. Thank you very much for joining us. We enjoy the UP power and the support for the State Champs High School Hockey Report.
All righty, thank you.
So that's a good start to the State Champs High School Hockey Report. I'm John Insakid along with Sean Malegian. Let's now go to Jenna Skowski in our State Champs studios.
Thank you, John and Sean. You two are having a lot of fun down at the showcase. When we come back, John talks with Cranbrook head coach Andy Weidenbach in our Coach's Corner. You're watching the State Champs High School Hockey Report.
National Coney Island is serving up what you love, fast, fresh, and friendly, like our award-winning Coney, Honey, or handcrafted burger. so you can get what you want when you want it. National Coney Island, your craving is calling.
There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted, just whistle.
Touchdown, Falcons.
And welcome back to the State Champs High School Hockey Report. I'm Jonathan Kidd, and it's time for our Coach's Corner segment. I am joined by Andy Weidenbach, the head coach at Cranbrook. Andy, welcome back to the High School Hockey Report.
Thanks, Jonathan. Always a pleasure to be here.
All right, it's the 19th MIHL Prep Hockey Showcase. How special is it for you guys to continue this?
You know, we've had a good run. We started this thing 19 years ago. With the first one was in Troy. We only had 12 teams in year one. And the thought process was to try to get some additional exposure for high school players, and it blossomed into a 42 team event, and we moved it to Trenton in year two, and it's been here ever since.
How supportive has been the city of Trenton and the Kennedy Ice Arena to host this event?
I think we have over 130 volunteers. I believe we have 80 some volunteers just from the MIHL teams alone, and then another 40 to 50 volunteers from the city of Trenton. So it's a big operation, and we've worked out most of the kinks by now. But still, there's a lot of moving parts.
What's the process like to selecting these teams, selecting the teams, and then making the matchups?
The teams apply in March and April, the season before, prior to the showcase. And what we do is we have a selection committee, and we try to determine through our crystal ball and through resources to try to get the top teams. And that's challenging because you never know who's rebuilding and who's going to be a top team a year in advance. But our committee does a pretty good job, and if you look through the years or over the years, we've been able to get the top teams pretty much year after year. So our selection committee does an excellent job.
And I was talking with Sean earlier in the show that what's great is about this, you get like teams that they could possibly see each other in the playoffs, or you get like what CC has this weekend against St. Ignatius and Notre Dame Academy. Just how special is that? That way you can be able to maybe, like you guys are going to play Houghton, a team that you could possibly see down the road in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to measure where you're at this point in the season. And, we originally started with all Michigan teams, and we've expanded it slightly, not too much. We've had Culver here from Indiana. We have Notre Dame Academy from Wisconsin. We have a couple teams from Ohio. But that's the extent of it. We have had a few teams from Ontario, but predominantly the showcase is for Michigan teams and Michigan players.
All right, I'm not going to leave without talking about you for a second. You just recently got your 500 victory. How special was that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a milestone for sure. And when I started this process, it wasn't about wins and losses. It was about, doing something for high school hockey, for the greater good. And, I've had some good teams over the years and some good coaches and a good support from the school. So to reach that milestone, it was never a goal, but it certainly is an honor.
Thank you very much, Andy, once again for joining us on the State Champs High School Hockey Report, and thank you again for your continued support in the MIHL for supporting State Champs.
Thank you, and we appreciate your support as well.
And it's time now to see the highlights of the game between Cranbrook and Houghton from here at the MIHL Prep Hockey Showcase.
This is going to be fun. We've been itching to play top teams like this down here, and this is what high school hockey is all about for us.
Pick things up in the second period with the game scoreless. We have Cranbrook 12th in our latest top 25 rankings. Check out the senior Connor McGrath with this beauty of a shot to beat the Houghton netminer Jimmy Patella for his 14th on the season. Cranes up 1-0. But back comes Houghton with just over a minute left in the second. The senior Justin Norkel gets around the defender and then backhands it home, and we were knotted at 1 as we headed into the third. The Cranes would take the lead with 10 minutes to go in the contest, as the junior Lucas Doran snaps it into the back of the net. Cranbrook now up 2-1. The Gremlins would answer just 4 minutes later. Brad Gauthier feeds it to Nathan Irva, who buries the rubber. We were tied at 2 after regulation. At the showcase, instead of overtime, they go into a shootout. Houghton was up first in the shootout, and it would be Norkel once again as he puts it into the back of the net. Gremlins out to a 1-zip lead. Cranbrook would answer as Doran goes in and backhands it home. We were tied up at 1 apiece. Houghton would take the lead once again in the shootout off the stick of senior co-captain Kevin Bostwick. Gremlins up 2-1. Cameron Hellman is next up for the Cranes, and he puts it home to even it back up at 2. Then it would be Nico Rajala for Houghton with the nice goal, and the Gremlins were back up by 1. Cranbrook's Joshua Sherman needed to score here to advance in the next round of the shootout, and his shot is off the mark. As Houghton goes on to beat Cranbrook in the shootout, 3-2 the final score.
So Houghton with a thrilling shootout win over Cranbrook. I'm joined by Corey Markham, the head coach for Houghton. Thank you for joining us here on the High School Hockey Report.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a real exciting game for us. It was really evenly matched, and obviously you tie the game and go into a shootout, and we were fortunate enough to win in a shootout. So exciting win for our team, and just great for us to be down here at the MIHL Showcase, and to walk out with a win is really rewarding.
So it was a back and forth game. You guys were down and came back tied. They got the lead. They tied. Just talk about your guys' effort to come back.
Yeah, that's what I was most proud of. I thought the first period, we had really good jump. We hadn't had a game in 2 weeks because of cancellations and the weather, and I was really nervous about how we'd come out of the gates, and I thought we had really good jump. And then, we come out the first period at zeros, and I thought they played a little bit stronger in the second period. Cranbrook did. But, for us, we fell behind 2-1, and we were able to scrap back and tie it up. Good forechecking, and just really proud of the guys for doing that.
How special is it for you guys to be here at the MIHL Showcase?
Very special. This is the premier high school showcase in the state, and everyone knows that. They have the great majority of the top teams in the state, and to be part of it is, really, we're very proud to be part of it.
And just lastly, how special is it to play up there, up in the UP?
It is special. For us, we get to play in one of the oldest buildings in the U.S. in the D Stadium. Is just such an historic stadium. And then we go up to Calumet, and the Calumet Coliseum is another just old barn. So the kids get to enjoy that all year, every year, and it's a great brand of hockey. It's a real aggressive, fast skating, and we love being, we love living up there, and then we love coming to play down these strong downstate teams.
Houghton with a thrilling shootout win over Cranbrook here at the MIHL Prep Hockey Showcase. I was joined by Corey Markham, the head coach at Houghton. Thank you very much again for joining us here on the High School Hockey Report.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you to you and Sean. You guys do an excellent job with this and promoting high school hockey. Couldn't be more proud of the job you guys do and getting the word out.
More from the Prep Hockey Showcase as Sean chats with Cody Inglis, the Director of Hockey from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. The High School Hockey Report will be right back.
National Coney Island is serving up what you love, fast, fresh, and friendly, like our award-winning Coney, honey, or handcrafted burger. So you can get what you want, when you want it. National Coney Island, your craving is calling.
I admit it, I love working with money, negotiating, and making big decisions. That's why I'm majoring in finance and economics at Lawrence Tech. What's truly amazing about the education here is the small class sizes that give me easy access to my professors who truly care about my future. They even helped me get a great internship. And I was able to fulfill my lifelong dream of playing college golf. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
All right, right, welcome back to Trenton. It is, of course, the MIHL Showcase. So glad you can join us wherever you may be, and so glad that this gentleman can join us as well. We usually chat with him in March. I'm glad that we have an opportunity to chat with him in February, and I'm sure we'll chat in March as well. He is the director of hockey here in the great state of Michigan. Great guy doing a lot of great things for the game as well. Let's welcome in Cody Inglis. And first of all, Cody, always a pleasure to see you. I'm glad with your busy schedule you had a chance to come down. How are you?
I'm great. I get to tell my boss that I get to come watch hockey, and he doesn't question that. So I'm pretty blessed to have this job. So
I know this is a job. How funny. No, Cody, honestly, there are so many of these events going on, and in your time in the game, the one thing that I've been saying to a lot of coaches is if we can find a way to do more events like this, it's just a special time for all involved.
It really is, and it shows the quality, the depth of great hockey being played in Michigan. When you see these teams, even the ones that aren't the perennial powers, aren't ranked, that absolutely go out there and are playing as well as they are, being coached as great as they are, it's just a great, as the title of this event is, a showcase for the game. And that's what we want.
I love hearing you say that because I have a term. There are the usual suspects that we can call them, the traditional powerhouses. But what you've seen in the past decade, the past 5 years, our teams are really starting to put it together. And 1 year turns into 2 and turns into 3. The state of hockey, I might say, is maybe at its strongest point ever?
I would tend to agree depth-wise. Quality and quantity of teams and depth, and I think a couple reasons for me. I think the quality of coaching has never been better. The fact that these coaches are teaching the game the right way. I think, too, the kids, the ADM model, let's be honest, USA Hockey has rolled out, has now impacted the skill development of these kids, and they're better. Every single team here has skilled players on it. You couldn't always say that in the past with high school hockey, and it shows when you watch the quality of play on the ice, you watch the coaching behind the bench, the way the disciplined teams are playing, and it just the growth of the game is remarkable, and it's all corners of the state. Too. It's not just Metro Detroit. It's not just West Michigan. It's in the North. It's in the UP. And that's what we're trying to grow the game to make high school hockey that viable alternative for kids as they choose what they're going to play, and for parents as well.
And, Cody knows this. I mean, whether it be Traverse City up there, what Traverse City Central, Traverse City West does, whether it be Gaylord, whether it be the tournaments in the UP, there are tournaments like this all over the state. I mean, this one's a little bigger, make no mistake about it, but that's an outstanding thing. Cody Inglis kindly joining us. Cody, one of the things that I wanted to bring up to you, to a man, everybody in the Coaches Association has talked about how great it's been to work hand in hand with you, to work hand in hand with the MHSAA, and they really feel like everybody's rowing in the right direction. What's your feeling from your side working with the coaches?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm blessed that the board of the High School Hockey Coaches Association has taken on that relationship building, that fact that we're in this together. We're not opposed. We're in this together. And I think there's some other things that have come to fruition. Number one, Mark Ewell, our new executive director at the MHSA, replaced Jack Roberts, longtime wonderful director of the MHSA. But Mark brings a fresh perspective, a new perspective, and also is a high school hockey parent. His son Grant plays for the Capital City Capitals in the Lansing area, and is really showing what, hey, I'm a high school hockey dad. I know now what the high school hockey coaches and parents are going through. So I think that perspective has helped, as well as just the fact that the High School Hockey Coach Association has embraced, we need to work together. How can we grow the game? What can we do? What big picture items? Instead of maybe getting focused on the little minutia of the game, let's talk about growing the game. Let's talk about making sure that we're doing it right. Let's make sure that we're impacting all teams, not just some teams, making sure that if it's a seeding discussion, for example, if it's the growth of the tournament, if it's doing something different with our program, let's talk about that. Let's make sure we're doing it the right way, make sure everybody's at the table as well, which is a key thing when you've got hockey spread out from the Keweenaw all the way down here to the Detroit area.
One of the side notes, if I may, one of the things that I've noticed is the social media presence now. Whether it be a show, but I think, and I've told a lot of the coaches here, I think it's great how these coaches, assistant coaches, whatever the case may be, are getting that presence out there and putting the highlights out there and putting the numbers out there, and then you got it all in a central place in the hub. I mean, to me, Cody, it's not that long ago, it was hard to get some information and to find a schedule, to find some stats and everything. And everybody kind of putting it in a spot. It's just beautiful, and it helps all of us.
It is. It's the power of positive social media, right? When you do it the right way, it can be such a marketing tool, and it can be a promotion tool, as you said, and sharing of information that connects, no matter how far you are away from where it's going on, you can find out what's going on. And I think the other thing, too, is it's helped with the fact that you've got the hub, which is, by its very definition, the place everybody goes for high school hockey.
Last thing before we let you go, and certainly we appreciate the time from Cody Inglis. Cody, we got end of the month playoff start. I mean, it all begins, and it's a sprint. Are there some things out there that maybe the fans need to know, and certainly want everybody to come out to USA Hockey Arena as well, but anything you want to get out there before the sprint starts?
You know, I think it shows you can see great games wherever you want to in the state. When you and again, it's the great thing about tournament time. Everybody's building up to that moment. So it's the best hockey you're going to see all year long. The teams are ready to go. It's an exciting time. I'm blessed to be around this game, and I can't thank you enough at what you and Jonathan do with this podcast. I'm a religious watcher every week when it comes to my email from Jonathan, and I truly believe you guys are growing the game with the positive promotion and building it up. So thank you to you.
Appreciate it. And I'll tell you what, all you have to do is watch him and listen to him talk. We got a great leader who's passionate about the game. Cody Inglis, Director of Hockey. He's going to put his coaching hat on next. I know you got a game to coach. Best of luck to you as well, Coach.
Thank you, Sean.
Continued success, and thanks for all you do. Cody Inglis joining us here on the High School Hockey Report.
And joining us now here on the State Champs High School Hockey Report is Frank Novak, the head coach at Detroit Country Day. Frank, welcome to the High School Hockey Report.
John, my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You guys came out with a 4-1 victory over Warrendale South at the Prep Hockey Showcase. Talk about your guys' effort tonight.
I thought our effort was tremendous. We, it was tough, and everyone's the same. We only skated one day this week because of the weather and that. So, you always look for excuses, but we always teach the guys there aren't any excuses when we play, and they battled hard right from the start and just kept grinding away and got some fortunate bounces, and it was a good win for us.
And talk about with the weather this week. What was your what you had to tell the boys to prepare? Since you guys haven't got a chance to be on the ice all week.
Well, the thing was too. Last week was exam week, and we were not allowed to skate till Thursday, so we only had one practice last week. And then I'd sent an email out earlier in the week, saying look for the weather. So Tuesday we stepped on the gas a little bit with practice, and the guys worked their butts off for 2.5 hours, and that was it. And then obviously Wednesday was canceled, Thursday was canceled. But as we say, we're not going to make excuses. I told the guys they're going to be well rested and ready to play.
Talk about how special is it for you guys to be here at the MIHL Prep Hockey Showcase?
It's super special. This is such a tremendous event. The volunteers, the organization, the MIHL, everybody that gets involved to put their best foot forward and then to come in and play on this stage. It's a tremendous honor. You just hope that you withhold your end of the bargain and you play well and have a real good, respectable game.
I'm going to talk a little bit about last year. How special was it for you guys to win the state championship last year?
It's incredible. I have to say, other than my marriage and birth of my kids, there's not been a greater feat in my life from the guys, how hard they worked. And it wasn't just last year. It was guys that I had in the past that built the foundation of doing things the right way, of what hard work can really do. We weren't the most talented group, and everybody knows that, but we just bought in, and then to win, our win streak, to finish it off the way we did with the state championship. In a million years, I never thought it was possible, but as we kept going along the way, the guys, doubt started to go from my mind, and I told them within the room, there's a chance, and I couldn't be any prouder of the group last year.
And you return a Mr. Hockey winner in Sam Avola. Just talk about his goaltending play and just him as a person throughout his years at Country Day.
Well, a tremendous young man to begin with, and it's very difficult with all the pressure and accolades. As far as he wants to play college hockey, he wants to play junior hockey, dream team player, Mr. Hockey and that, and then to follow that up. It's tough. He's still a high school kid. You got to realize that, and everyone always putting the pressure on him. And I just kind of let Sam be. He's a goalie. He's different. He approaches things on his own terms. I just kind of let him be. Every once in a while we chat, and his work ethic and that, he wants to succeed, and he will at the next level based on just how hard he works and how bad he wants to be a winner.
And lastly, it's now after the showcase, it's pretty much a few more weeks and then it's the playoffs. How hungry is this team right now?
Very hungry. We set our goals at the beginning of the year, tasting last year's success. You know, anything less than a state championship is a disappointment, and that comes from within the room. The guys have done a tremendous job. My seniors leading the team, and a lot of them, this is their last year of hockey forever, and that's a real dismal thing to think about. How many years that you've played, mom and dad early to the rinks and stuff like that. But it's reality. I mean, very rarely do you have guys going on after high school hockey, so they really buy in and know that they can take these life lessons and memories of another state championship, and you never can take that away from them.
All right, so Country Day with a 4-1 victory over Warren De La Salle on Friday at the MIHL Prep Hockey Showcase, and I was joined by Frank Novak, the coach at Detroit Country Day. Thanks again for all your support for the State Champs High School Hockey.
Thanks, John and Sean. You guys do a tremendous job, and it's awesome to watch.
All right, it's time now for our National Coney Island High School Hockey Player of the Year update. Sean, is there going to be any changes to our list?
You know what? After talking to some of the guys, no changes now. That doesn't mean that this is going to stay the same. I think there are a couple guys that, we talked about it, John, last week, and without mentioning names, there are a couple guys that are really banging on the door pretty hard. I will mention one by name. I thought Cooper Black was outstanding against Flint Powers. You've heard the name, but when you see him in person, I think you see how good he is, how big he is, how effortless he is when he goes down to make a stop. So Cooper Black is definitely a guy to be considered, but right now we're going to keep our top 10 the same.
All right, you can vote at statechampsnetwork.com. As we've been stating throughout this, the leading vote getter automatically gets into the Final Four. As of right now, Zach Robinson from Woodhaven is leading our vote. As we wrap it up here at the MIHL Prep Hockey Showcase, we were out here on Friday. Sean, what's your take of all this?
Well, it's the godfather of all tournaments. It really is. I think all tournaments can look at this tournament, use it as kind of the base for what they want to do. The good news is, John, we've talked about it. We talked about it with Cody. You and I have talked about it. You're seeing more and more of these things pop up, and it's great for everybody involved. It gets you battle tested. It gets you ready for the playoffs. So, props again to everybody involved down here in Trenton, whether it be the Trenton guys. We saw so many friends. Our old buddy Alan, it's nice to see Alan out here. We're so used to people walking by our camera, and Alan's out there making sure that people don't. So John doesn't have to put the stock footage out there. But you know what? It's great, John, to be honest with you, that you get a chance to see so many people around the state, and we appreciate people coming by and saying hello. And like I said, I say it all the time, if you have any tips for us, reach out to John, reach out to me. We can't be everywhere, so a weekend like this gives you a chance to see some of the guys that you don't normally have a chance to see.
All right, and we're going to leave you off with the highlights of the rematch of the Division II state final. Trenton taking on Heartland.
With this opportunity, you play hard, you play smart, and as always, what separates Trent from everyone else, you play together as a team. Let's go get the W, boys.
Second year in a row, Trenton and Heartland meeting at the MIHL Prep Hockey Showcase, rematch of last year's Division II state championship finale. Heartland went home with its first state title in school history. Trenton entered this game ranked 5th in the state, winners of 8 of 9. First period, junior Brandon Clark with the opportunity, denied by senior Keith Brett Tomey. Heartland is currently ranked 2nd in the state. With the loss to Livonia Stevenson a week ago still stinging, a win here would bury the recent past. Remaining moments of the first period, Johnny Druskinis with the good look, but the Trojans' Joey Cormier the stop. Early stages of the second, Trenton almost got a lucky break. Our Hockey Player of the Year candidate Cam Blanton's pass attempt off a Heartland stick, but Tomey there once again for the save. The senior had 16 stops on the night. Trenton was in the penalty box 4 times in the second period, but the Trojan penalty kill was killer. Cormier was a wall. The save on the Druskinis slapper. Heading into the third, we were still scoreless. Just over a minute into the final period, Trenton on the power play. Devin Dunn coming around and spotting an open Ethan Holt. The junior, his 12th goal on the season. Trojans break the ice. Under a minute left, Heartland bringing out the extra attacker as Tomey went to the bench. Evan Kraus on the receiving end in front. Cormier once again coming up huge. This junior had 33 saves on the night. Soon after Dunn added an empty netter. Trenton shuts out the defending state champs Heartland 2-0. The Trojan train steaming down the tracks, winners of now 9 of their last 10.
All right, as the MIHL Prep Showcase closes, we now preview the Michigan Public High School Hockey Showcase that is happening out in Chelsea starting on Thursday.
Well, and you know the great thing about it, John, is I know you and I are going to do our best to get out there at some point, various points over the weekend. So many good games. Churchill's going to be busy. They have to go back out there. Novi and Lakeland getting together. You know, we met Coach Ronayne. Rochester, Stony Creek. I'm intrigued at Rochester, Stony Creek. Northville and Skyline, there are just so many good games. Hey, that Lance Cruz team is pretty good. You know, that's another team. One that I have a circle around.
Is it Woodhaven Plymouth?
Woodhaven and Plymouth. No, Davison and Marquette. Davison and Marquette really intrigues me. Marquette's been playing so well. They've really been playing so well. For people out there that don't know, go take a look at what they've been able to do. It isn't just the wins, it's the way they're winning games. And Davison, already, I think people know what they've been able to accomplish the last couple of years. So certainly another great showcase. It's easy to get to out in Chelsea as well. It's just right off of 94. So if you have an opportunity to get out there, another golden opportunity to see some high caliber high school hockey action.
All right, so this was a lot of fun here at the MIHL Prep Hockey Showcase. Sean, it was a pleasure as always. We only have 5 more of these.
Can't we make it like 10? Can't we do just 5 after the season?
Like, give you the bad news
no,
on that.
I don't want to hear that bad news. Maybe we'll do it 2 or 3 times a week. No, John, always a pleasure. It's thanks for all the people out there helping us this week. And John, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You put so much work into it, so thank you, and it's a pleasure being with you guys.
All right, and we'd send it back to Jenna to wrap it up here on the High School Hockey Report.
Bye, Jenna.
Thank you, guys. And that is it for another edition of the State Champs High School Hockey Report. Come join us again next week, and we'll see you at the rink.